So today we're going to talk about impact. What is impact? Why does it matter? How much do I need on my traps? We're going to talk about everything impact, what is the effect, and how you can use it to become a champ. All right, guys, so if you love our videos, if you love what we're doing here, please use our supporter creator code. It really helps us to keep on making content and keep doing what we're doing. So thank you so much for the support, guys. All right. Let's get right into it. Impact is extremely important. For all you guys who are like, oh, do I need to level up my trap? Do I need to put impact on my perks? You know, blah, 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 blah. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. As you can see, I have 2 reload and 3 impact on my sound wall trap. This puts my impact up to 32,000. Why is this relevant? Simple. Every enemy in the game has a certain amount of impact built into them. The bigger the enemy, the higher the impact. If the impact on your trap does not do more impact to the enemy than they have impact resistance on them, they will not get affected by your trap. This goes for everything. This goes for the 32,000 of the sound wall. This goes for my 30,000 on the wall launcher. You'll notice that wall launchers will hit enemies. They won't always knock the enemy flying. Why? Because the enemy has too much impact resistance. This is mostly noticeable against smashers because smashers are huge. They are the biggest enemies. They have the highest impact resistance. And sometimes it takes 2 full hits from a full 130 legendary wall launcher with 3 impact. It's still sometimes not enough to knock a smasher flying. This is the same for the sound trap. It is the same for all traps. If you have a trap that stuns or pushes or knocks an enemy back, you will have an impact ratio on that trap. Even broadsides do a little bit of impact. As you can see, 195, very irrelevant on a level 1, but on a full size it's 1,200, which of course is nothing compared to 30,000 on the wall launcher and 32,000 on the sound wall. We've got impact on wall lights, 35,000 on wall lights. All traps that move an enemy have an impact rating. You'll even see weapons have an impact rating, such as the Santa's Little Helper. This has a 25,000 impact shot. It's the most powerful impact weapon in the game. If you want to smash an enemy flying, Santa's Little Helper is your best friend. So that's what you have to do. Every enemy comes with an impact resistance, and if the effect hitting them does not exceed that resistance, they will be immune. They will just get hit, and it will take the impact that they got hit by and minus it off the impact resistance they have. So as you do more hits and more hits and more hits, you will whittle away at their impact resistance, and once the impact hits 0, whatever hit was the final hit, the effect of that weapon will affect the enemy. So if it's say it's a weapon, it's a gun. This one does 420 impact per shot. If a bobcat impact hit breaks the resistance of an enemy, the enemy will stumble. He'll be like, oh, he'll kind of get knocked around. Whereas if an enemy gets hit by a Santa's Little Helper or a knockback trap, it will knock them flying because that's what the weapon does. So it's very important which weapon gets the last hit, the last impact hit on an enemy. It's very, very frustrating when you have enemies walking through your base, a wall launcher hits them, doesn't have enough impact to affect them. They walk towards the next trap, but a broadside hits them and causes them to stumble. Like, it wobbles them, right? It stops them for like a second. Then they hit the next wall launcher, and the wall launcher again fails, because as soon as you break the impact of an enemy, the impact's knockback or impact resistance goes back up to 100%. You have to lower it all the way back down to 0 again to get the effect. So it is very important which hit gets the last hit. And that's why things like wall darts are very, very good for extra damage, because wall darts do not cause any impact, so they do not run the risk of accidentally triggering the impact on a very mediocre effect. A very noticeable version of this is the wall dynamo. Wall dynamos do almost 7,000 7,000 impact, and they do a 0.5 stun. 0.5 stun is absolutely worthless. It is a garbage trap. This trap is actually counterintuitive if you're relying on your knockbacks or your impact ratios to battle enemies. So impact is a huge deal. If an enemy walks into your trap, gets hit by a wall launcher, nothing happens, gets hit by the wall dynamo, gets stunned for 1/2 second, then walks into your wall lights and does not get affected because the impact is not enough to trigger it, you just missed out on a 2.5 second stun for a 0.5 second stun. Pretty horrible, right? Yeah, so it's very important to populate your trap tunnels with appropriate weapons, appropriate traps. You don't want your traps overlapping each other in negative ways, like wall dynamos interfering with wall launchers and wall lights, or sound walls even. These are obviously the heavy hitters: sound wall, wall lights, and wall launchers. Those are the ones who are designed to either 1 or 2 shot an enemy into getting its effect activated. Now, another really effective way of helping out your wall launchers is actually to shoot enemies as they are coming into the wall launcher. Sometimes enemies will have about 40,000 impact or whatever, right? Whatever they have. It's just outside of the 30,000 effect. Now, if you can do damage to the enemy by utilizing your guns, like let's go say the Bobcat. Bobcat does 420, right? This one does 783 per bullet, which means you can rack up a huge amount of impact quickly. This one's 9,000 per shot with the boom bow. You know, these things can rack up some serious impact very quickly before they reach your wall launcher, guaranteeing that they're softened up enough for the wall launcher to smash them flying with a guaranteed knockback. So if you have enemies like smashers that you're like, oh, they're going to have too much resistance for my wall launcher, you can put some shots into them before they get to the wall launcher to guarantee they're softened up enough for that wall launcher to smash them flying with its 30,000 bonus. So there's a lot of tactics that go along with impact to boost you and get you to, get the effects that you're looking for, to get those knockbacks, to send enemies flying, to really affect them in the maximum negative manner, so that you can get that win, right? So you can get that win, you can control the field of battle, you can, control the enemy. And that's really it. That's how impact works. Impact is a resistance factor that enemies have. You have to exceed that factor in order for them to be stunned. This also goes for melee weapons. I should mention clubs, because clubs do a lot of impact. You've got 1,000 on this one here. You've got 2,000 on this one here. Clubs are designed to do a lot of impact. This one's 3,400. Each one has a different impact. Clubs do the most amount of impact compared to like swords, which do very little. So the one of the biggest ones being the Smasher Basher. When you hit multiple attacks on it with a Smasher Basher, you're going to do a huge amount of impact. And after 2 or 3 attacks, most enemies are going to get repelled. They're going to get knocked back. They're going to get affected. So impact is very, very important. You need to know what kind of weapon you have and know what the effect is when you get the impact break. So that you know which attack to use, whether it's a heavy attack to slam the ground to knock enemies flying backwards, to weaken them up and then slam the ground. You'll get a feel, if you know how impact works, to gauge exactly how many attacks you need to do to get these incredible effects to completely ruin the Huss and push them back and knock them flying and take instant control over the battlefield. All right, guys, I really hope that this helps you to understand the full extent of impact and how profound of an impact it can have on the battlefield. There are character heroes that are designed to increase the impact of your abilities, such as shock towers. You can actually increase the impact of shock towers, guaranteeing that you're going to knock enemies around. You can increase the impact of your anti-material punch, allowing you to actually knock enemies backwards and knock them around using anti-material punches. There are heroes that can increase the impact of seismic slam, so you can hit the ground, have that shockwave go out, and then send them flying, or have the shockwave go out and then come back again, doubling up the impact and sending them flying. Controlling the battlefield, pushing enemies around. Yeah, if you understand it all, you're going to be a much, much, much more dangerous player. So like I say, I really hope that this video helps you out, guys. I hope you understand everything that there is to know about impact. If I missed anything, comment down below. Let me know. I tried to do most of this off the top of my head, grabbing everything I know about impact. So I really hope that this helps you hit the next level of your impact game and helps you understand the mechanic and how it works and how you can utilize that with your traps. If you found this video helpful, guys, make sure you like and subscribe. Ring that little bell for notifications. Please give a thumbs up and comment down below. Let me know what you think about this topic. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for being a part of the VASH Corps. Thank you for all the support, having my back, and watching my videos, and making this possible. Thank you so much for being a part of this stream. I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh yeah!